This was supposed to be a quiet day at home. Instead, my kitchen was buried in flour. Toilet paper covered the entire apartment, and 4 smiling creatures were pretending they had done absolutely nothing. And somehow, this was all my fault. Let me explain. 1 hour earlier, I brought home a mysterious box containing 4 colorful smiley balls. There was a yellow one, a pink one, a blue one, and a green one. I placed the yellow ball on the floor first. It flashed brightly, and Verity appeared right beside it. Next came the pink ball. Another flash filled the room, and Lovity appeared beside the sofa. Then I placed the blue ball near the hallway. That was probably my first mistake. Falsity appeared, looked directly at me, and immediately gave me the feeling that he was planning something. Finally, I placed the green ball beside the kitchen. Curiosity appeared in a bright green flash. For a few seconds, all 4 of them simply stood there, staring at me with those enormous smiles. Verity immediately claimed the biggest chair. Lovity stole my blanket and started building herself a nest. Falsity quietly disappeared into the hallway, and Curiosity noticed the kitchen. I already knew this was going to end badly. Curiosity walked straight into the kitchen and opened my refrigerator without asking. Before I could stop him, he found a carton of eggs. Verity followed us and ordered him to put it back. Curiosity obeyed, or at least that is what he wanted us to believe. He secretly hid 1 egg behind his back. Meanwhile, Lovity was turning my sofa into a giant blanket nest. She stole every pillow she could find, including the one I was holding. Then she disappeared underneath the blanket. For a moment, everything became completely still, and then she suddenly jumped out at me. While I was distracted, Falsity found the television remote. He grabbed it before I could reach it, and gave me the most innocent smile I had ever seen. The robot vacuum rolled into the hallway, and Falsity followed it into the bathroom. That should have warned me. He found a full roll of toilet paper, attached the loose end to the vacuum, and sent it back into the apartment. Within seconds, toilet paper was stretching across the entire living room. Lovity saw it moving and decided it was a new toy. She grabbed the paper and chased the vacuum. Then Curiosity joined her. Together, they wrapped the toilet paper around Verity's chair. Verity tried to stand up, and the paper tore into dozens of pieces. He immediately pointed at Falsity. Falsity stood near the hallway with his hands behind his back, pretending to know nothing. Then he sent the robot vacuum directly into the kitchen. The robot vacuum rolled into the hallway, and Falsity followed it into the bathroom. That should have warned me. He found a full roll of toilet paper, attached the loose end to the vacuum, and sent it back into the apartment. Within seconds, toilet paper was stretching across the entire living room. Lovity saw it moving and decided it was a new toy. She grabbed the paper and chased the vacuum. Then, Curiosity joined her. Together, they wrapped the toilet paper around Verity's chair. Verity tried to stand up, and the paper tore into dozens of pieces. He immediately pointed at Falsity. Falsity stood near the hallway with his hands behind his back, pretending to know nothing. Then he sent the robot vacuum directly into the kitchen. The robot vacuum bumped a small kitchen shelf. A bag of flour moved dangerously close to the edge. Curiosity noticed it immediately. He climbed onto the counter, picked up the bag, and began inspecting it like some incredible scientific discovery. Lovity wanted to see it too. Verity arrived and tried to take the flour away from them. For a moment, Verity and Curiosity gently pulled the bag in opposite directions. And while everyone was distracted, Falsity found the kitchen fan. He pressed the button. The fan started blowing directly toward the flour. The top of the bag opened slightly, and a small white cloud flew straight into Verity's face. Curiosity panicked. He opened his hands, and the entire bag began falling toward the floor. The flour bag hit the floor and exploded into a huge white cloud. The running fan spread flour across the entire kitchen. Verity tried to protect his face. Curiosity stayed frozen beside the counter. And Falsity watched the disaster like he had planned every second of it. I finally switched off the fan, but then Lovity entered the kitchen. She looked at the flour-covered floor and apparently decided it was snow. She picked it up and threw it into the air. Curiosity climbed down and walked into the living room, leaving white footprints behind him. Then the robot vacuum drove directly into the flour. It began spreading long white streaks across the apartment. I chased it down and finally stopped it with both hands. The damage, however, was already done. Verity finally decided to take control. He lined everyone up and made each creature sit beside its matching smiley ball. For the first time all day, the apartment became quiet. I started cleaning the toilet paper from the floor. Lovity secretly pulled another pillow toward herself. Falsity slowly disappeared behind the chair, leaving only his blue ball in his place. And Curiosity noticed a large red button on the smart home controller. I clearly told him not to touch it. Verity stood between Curiosity and the button. Everything seemed under control, until Falsity rolled his blue smiley ball across the floor. Verity turned to look at it. Curiosity stretched out one long finger and reached for the button. I tried to stop him, but Curiosity pressed the red button. Every device in the apartment activated at once. The lights flashed, the curtains moved, the fans started spinning, the television turned on, and the robot vacuum came back to life. Then music started playing, and somehow, the disaster became a party. All four creatures started dancing. Lovity threw pillows into the air. Falsity played with the lights, and Verity accidentally knocked everything off a shelf while trying to restore order. I finally reached the master switch and shut everything down. 1 second later, all four of them were sitting innocently on the sofa. When I asked who caused the mess, they pointed at each other, and then they all pointed at me. I collected their 4 smiley balls and placed them back inside the box. But there was now a 5th ball inside, a black and red one, and judging by their faces, they knew exactly what it was.